Hello everybody, what is going on? I hope you guys are all doing well, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of The Fragrance Well. Today's topic is going to be signature scents. That's right, signature scents. Scents that you feel like identifies with your personality, really represents who you are as a person, therefore it's a scent you want to wear to just about every occasion. To me, a signature scent does just that, as well as has a lot of versatility to it, so it's something you can wear too many occasions, therefore it doesn't become off-putting in certain situations. Even if it does though, a signature scent could technically be anything. Even if it's something that doesn't make a lot of sense in the scenarios, if it makes you feel great, then hey, that's your signature scent. If it's something you wear all the time, people start to identify you as, hey, that's how he smells when he comes around, that's your signature scent. I got 10 of them right here. I'm gonna talk about them right now. Alright, so before we get into the list, I think it's fair to say what was my first signature scent. My first signature scent was Curve for Men by Liz Claiborne. Really just easy to wear barbershop scent. Really popular in the 90s, very affordable, still sells now. Has a bunch of flankers, but I don't think any of them are as good as this. I just kind of wanted to point that out. I also have an honorable mention, one that I think just didn't quite make my list for today for whatever reason. This is going to be from Cartier. This is Pasha de Cartier, the Parfum version. Really love this scent. I think it's a beautiful scent, and honestly the first time I smelled it, it made me think like this is signature scent worthy. The main reason I didn't really put it on this list today, I think it's just because this one does have a booziness to it that, in my opinion, I wouldn't make a boozy scent my signature scent, because it just might not work in certain scenarios that are a part of my life. And also it is kind of rich and a little sweet, so living in Florida, it would be a little tough to wear this when it's really, really hot out. So that was just me, my personal opinion. I do think this is signature scent worthy. I just didn't put it on this list today, but I do think it was worth mentioning. All right, so let's actually get into today's list. This is a list of 10 signature scents. First one is going to be from House of Christian Dior. This is Dior Homme. This is the 2020 release. I have a feeling I would put the Dior Homme Original on this list, but I don't actually own it, and nor have I ever smelled it. I do have Dior Homme Intense, so I have a good feeling that I would like Dior Homme Original, but since I don't have it, I'm not going to feature it in today's list. But that being said, I do think that this is a great signature scent. Features notes of elemi resin, pink pepper, bergamot, Atlas cedar, patchouli, Haitian vetiver, and musk. You would call this one a pretty woody and fresh scent. The bergamot and the pink pepper gives it a really nice pop off of the opening. Isoe super is the main molecule used in this, which simulates cedar being one of the accords in this fragrance. So it's very woody, very clean, very fresh, very pleasing. This is a compliment getter, believe it or not. Lasts a pretty good while. It's not a beast mode scent, but it definitely gets the job done. And it's very easy to wear in many situations. You can pretty much rock this one all year round, therefore making it a great choice if you wanted to make a scent like this your signature scent. Once again, this is Dior Homme 2020 release from Christian Dior. Okay, so before we get to the next one on the list, one of the things I forgot to mention earlier is one of the things I tried to do when compiling this list is kind of capture different styles of scents that I think work well for signature scents. However, I do see an underlying theme in the choices I made. One of them is being that they all have some sense of freshness and cleanliness. Something that I think is what most people would want to come off as. You want to come off as clean. You don't want to come off as dirty to people on a daily basis. That being said, I love pungent and strong scents that have a little bit of mysteriousness and darkness to them. But I would say for most people, when it comes to a signature scent, that's not something that would necessarily work for them. And that being said, this one here is going to be coming from the House of Guerlain. This is Guerlain Vetiver. Guerlain Vetiver Eau de Toilette. Very clean, very nice citrus, and also very green. I will admit this one's probably not for everyone. The original release was in 1959, so obviously it's going to have a very dated smell to it, but you can't deny that this one is clean and fresh to a degree that a lot of newer clean and fresh scents just don't come across this way, and I think it's very beautiful. Featured notes in this one is bergamot, lemon, orange, nutmeg, pepper, vetiver, tobacco, and tonka bean. For me, the nutmeg is what really sets this one apart from a lot of your kind of fresher, clean vetivers that come out nowadays, or even just other releases in general. But this one might appeal more so to, you know, guys a little bit older. Younger guys are definitely not going to be running to the hills for this one. But that being said, it is a great, clean scent that will get the job done in a wide variety of scenarios, and I think it makes for a great signature scent. Once again, this is from the House of Guerlain. This is Vetiver. All right, let's get a niche one into the list. This one's going to be coming from the House of Amouage, and if you've heard about it, you definitely heard that this one is certainly signature scent worthy. This is going to be Reflection Man. Amouage Reflection Man features bitter orange leaf, red pepper, rosemary, neroli, jasmine, iris, ylang ylang, sandalwood, cedarwood, vetiver, and patchouli. You ever heard this one described, you know, you might hear it described as, you know, something that a CEO would wear. I certainly agree. Very clean, very fresh, a little bit of sweetness to it, very high quality ingredients, some florals in there, very sophisticated, and certainly one of the easiest wears from the House of Amouage. When I first smelled this, I knew I had to get my hands on it. I'm glad I have it. Unfortunately, on my skin, it doesn't perform that well, but I understand that that's not necessarily the case for most people, so a good performer as well. You might not often think of niche houses having scents that you would consider signature scents. I very much beg to differ. If you just look around, not everything in niche is, you know, barnyard oud and tons of rose or super oriental or super unique accords. You know, many of them work just as well, if not better, than your typical everyday wear that you get from a lot of designer houses. So definitely check this one out if you haven't. This is Amouage Reflection Man. Great signature scent option. All right, let's move on to one that people are certainly sick of hearing about, but you know what? I really don't care, because at the end of the day, this scent just works and it's popular for a reason. This is going to be from the House of Creed. This is Aventus. You know it, you've heard about it, but hey, at the end of the day, man, this one is a great signature scent option because I can't think of too many scenarios where it would not work. Features apple, bergamot, blackcurrant, lemon, pink pepper, pineapple, Indonesian patchouli, jasmine, ambergris, cedarwood, musk, birch, and oak moss. It's all about the citrus and the fruits in this one, and of course a little bit of smokiness from the birch, as well as oak moss and musk in the dry down. And of course we can't forget about the ever famous Creed pineapple note. It's just an easy one to wear, works in a variety of situations, works in a variety of temperatures, it's a compliment getter. People talk about performance. I guess that kind of depends on which batch you get. I'm not going to get into that. This is the latest release. I haven't had a problem with it. Great for the office, great for the gym, great for casual wear, great for a night out. I mean, you can't go wrong with a scent that is highly versatile, that smells great. Once again, this is Creed's Aventus. Great signature scent option. Moving back into the designer realm, this one's going to be coming from the House of Chanel. This is Bleu de Chanel. Obviously known as one of the most versatile scents on the market. This is the Parfum concentration to be exact. Although I think any of the Bleu de Chanels would work. Probably the Eau de Parfum is the best option in terms of versatility, but my favorite, and just in terms of scent alone, is definitely the Parfum. Official notes is only sandalwood and cedar, but we all know there's citrus in the opening, particularly grapefruit. If you happen to live in environments that might be a little bit warmer, the Eau de Parfum might be better for like a signature scent option in terms of wearing it year round, although I do think this one works as well. But you know, just dial the sprays back when it's really hot, because maybe it might just be a little too woody, a little too thick, if you will. But there's no denying Bleu de Chanel made its name because, hey, it works in every situation. Works great at the office, works great for compliments, night out, date night, just wear it casual wear. I mean, that is the definition of a signature scent. You might not be that unique wearing something like Bleu de Chanel, but it doesn't matter. Signature scent is not about who's wearing it and who's not wearing it. It's about, hey, how does it make you feel and does it speak to your personality? Always works for me when I wear it for work. I like wearing it when I travel. You can't deny Bleu de Chanel just gets the job done every time. Check it out, Bleu de Chanel from Chanel, and any of the concentrations I think would work in terms of being a signature scent. All right, you know what? Why don't we get a cheapie up in here, man? Let's get one that's a cheapie. This one's kind of gonna fall into that blue category and would also be a great option for younger guys. This one's coming from Salvatore Ferragamo. This is Acqua Essenziale Bleu. Acqua Essenziale Bleu. Bergamot, lemon, cardamom, lavender, cedar, ambroxan, benzoin, tonka bean, and patchouli are some of the notes in this one. This one's gonna be more of a salty, kind of aquatic kind of scent. Not my personal favorite style of scent, but at the end of the day, you can't deny that stuff like that really works because you're gonna get fresh, clean from it. This one has a little bit of sweetness as well that kind of gives it that more youthful feel. And hey, it's a very cheap scent. I think you can get this 50 ml for maybe $25 if I last checked. I saw something saying that this is discontinued in terms of production, but I think you can still find it very easily, so not hard to get at all. Just a good easy wear, works for every situation. Wear it at a night out, wear it to the office, it's not gonna be a problem. Performance is average, so that's not a terrible thing. You can always just respray it, especially with it being a cheaper fragrance. You can always buy another bottle up or buy multiple bottles. Great, cheap, a little bit more youthful option for signature scents. This is Essenziale Bleu from Salvatore Ferragamo. While we're on the subject of slightly sweeter signature scents, why don't we talk about this great one here, another one from the house of Chanel. This is gonna be Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. I do think the original Allure Homme Sport would work as well, but this one is a better one in my opinion. A little bit richer, a little bit deeper, a little bit sweeter, but hey, maybe if you want something a little bit more on the cleaner side, go with the original Allure Homme Sport. Mandarin orange, mint, cypress, black pepper, clary sage, tonka bean, white musk, sandalwood, and cedar. This one has some of that freshness. I did mention it was a little bit sweeter as well, but it's not so sweet that it can't work in a variety of situations, including at the office. You know, you just don't spray the crap out of it, obviously. But that makes it great for a date night out. It still works as a sport fragrance with the freshness that it does have. I've heard people complain about performance with the later batches. Again, I'm not gonna make the big deal about that. You know, if it doesn't perform well and you want a signature scent that, hey, lasts all day, then maybe pick something and test it on your skin and make sure it does before you go get it. Very easy to wear, mass appealing, people pleasing, definitely a compliment getter. It's been out for a while, so you know, not talked about as much as it used to be, but definitely still works and is a great all year round wear, which makes it a great possible option for a signature scent. Again, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, or just the original Chanel Allure Homme Sport. Next one on the list, man, let's get some Tom Ford in here and let's get a Fougere in here, man. We got Tom Ford Beau de Jour. Tom Ford Beau de Jour, a modern take on a classic Fougere style scent. You've got lavender, two types of lavender by the way, geranium, basil, oak moss, patchouli, and amber. I absolutely love wearing this. I will say that the lavender in the opening is extremely strong and might be a little off-putting, but that does dry down and become a little bit smoother after about 10 minutes or so. And then you really start to get into the aromatics and the amber and the patchouli and the oak moss, and it just smells amazing at that point. You just smell like a sophisticated, well put together man, and it works really good in the office. This is actually one of my favorite scents to wear while I'm at work, but it also works in a variety of situations. Probably gonna appeal more so to guys a little bit older, which is why it's a good option in terms of someone who's a little bit more sophisticated, if you will. That's not to knock young people saying that they're not sophisticated, but you know, that's something that you kind of gain when you get a little older. You get a little bit more experience, you know, you have a little bit more confidence about yourself. This is actually my most complimented fragrance that I wear to work on somewhat of a regular basis, so it is a great option. This would probably definitely make the short list in terms of scents I would put as my signature scent if I was only gonna wear, say, one or two over a long period of time. Check it out if you haven't. Tom Ford Beau de Jour, amazing scent. All right, next up, got another vetiver based scent, and it's definitely one of my favorites. This is coming from the house of Hermes. This is Terre d'Hermes. I'm certain you've heard about this one. If you haven't, I'm about to tell you about it right now. This is all about orange and vetiver. People call it the dirty orange fragrance, if you will, because you definitely get the orange smell, and you also kind of get this kind of earthy, kind of dirty vetiver along with it. A little bit smokiness that's coming from the Flintstone that's in here. Featured notes are vetiver, cedar, orange, grapefruit, pepper, Flintstone, geranium leaf, patchouli, pink pepper, and benzoin. Heralded by many as a modern classic, and I must say I'm on that bandwagon. This is a beautiful vetiver scent. I love the orange note in it. I love the grassy, kind of earthy feeling that it gives off. I love the grassy, earthy accords that come across with this. I enjoy wearing it. The Eau de Toilette is actually a pretty decent performer. Has gotten me a couple of compliments before. Granted, not for everyone. Again, this is a vetiver forward scent, so if you're not into vetiver, you know, this is probably not going to be the one for you. That kind of dirty orange that comes from this is a little off-putting for some folks. That being said, I think it is a really well put together scent that, you know, would really speak to someone's personality that is sophisticated, elegant, confident, knows what they want to go for in life. I think this scent speaks to that because of the boldness of that orange and that earthiness that it has. Great option for a signature scent. This is Terre de Hermes. And last but not least, if I had to take an educated guess, I would say that this last one is probably what most people have used as a signature scent in some variation or another, whether it be the original or even this version, which most people seem to think is the best version. This is going to be coming from the house of Giorgio Armani. This is Acqua di Gio Profumo. If you know, you know. You've definitely heard about this one. Like I said, I think it is easily probably the most popular, at least in the community, version of this scent, but I've seen plenty of people that are not collectors, not enthusiasts at all, have this in their arsenal. This one features aquatic notes, bergamot, spicy notes, rosemary, sage, geranium, frankincense, and patchouli. This is going to be a fresh aquatic style scent, but with the addition of that frankincense and patchouli, it makes it more versatile. It helps it out a little bit in some of the cooler months, gives it a little bit of smokiness and a little bit more of an earthiness to it, and also gives it really good lasting power. This stuff is really packed a punch off of my skin. Again, it opens up the versatility, so it just makes for a great signature scent. Major compliment getter, performs well, smells really good. Again, aquatics are not my favorite style of scent, but if I have to have one from Acqua di Gio, it's gonna be this one. And I cannot deny that, hey, it smells good off of my skin and it works really well. And it is very versatile, which is the name of the game when you're talking about signature scents for most people. The word on the street for this one is that it is discontinued, but it seems to have been produced at such a high number that there's still plenty of it available out there. You can even still buy it from most retailers. So if you want to get your hands on it, you can still do so. You can still find a good deal on it every now and then. It never was a super highly discounted fragrance, at least for as long as I've been collecting, just because of its popularity and because it's an Acqua di Gio. You can find them discounted, but not ridiculously discounted, particularly not the newer releases. But this is a great option for a signature scent. Probably going to be one of the easiest ones to pull off on this list as a signature scent. Once again, from Giorgio Armani, this is Acqua di Gio Profumo. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. That is 10 signature scent worthy fragrances that are a part of my collection that I think would work for a variety of people. Again, a signature scent is something that speaks to your personality, so technically it can be whatever you want it to be, but I think it is fair to say that there is a certain style of fragrance that would work for the masses, if you will, and these fragrances I think fit that bill to some degree. Let me know down in the comments what you think are great signature scents. Do you agree with what I have here? Do you think some of these don't make great signature scents? Is there something that I should add? Something I should look into? Please let me know, man. This is an open conversation in the never-ending world of fragrances. I hope to see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a great day.